The 1986 film Top Gun, which ended as the year's highest-grossing film, captured the hearts of millions and instantly became a family favorite. However, not many know that the plot of the film was actually based on a real pilot school based in the United States, though the school's real history is much less glamorous than Hollywood portrays. In 1969, the United States Navy, or USN, Fighter Weapons School was founded in an effort to reduce the number of lives lost by the United States military during the ongoing air conflict in Vietnam. However, very soon, the school earned the nickname Top Gun due to its success in teaching advanced dogfighting techniques. But what was the Top Gun program really like, and how much does it resemble the famous blockbuster film franchise? Welcome back to Facts Fanatics. We're dedicated to bringing you the most shocking and downright unbelievable real-life incidents that stun the world. Today, we're going to take a look at the real-life Top Gun schools and the world-class pilots they produce. We'll discuss their origins, as well as just how closely the real-life pilots and their training resembles that of the hit film series famously starring Tom Cruise. Let's get into it. Operation Rolling Thunder was a component of the United States war against the Communist Democratic Republic of Vietnam from 1965 to 1968. The US was supporting the Republic of Vietnam in their campaign to stem a North Vietnamese invasion. A bombing campaign began to degrade the military capabilities and political resolve of the North, but the enemy's apparently unsophisticated air defenses proved difficult to overcome. In addition to a small number of contemporary jet fighters, Vietnam, with help from the Soviet Union and China, was also able to construct an excellent ground-to-air missile and anti-aircraft gun-based defense system. The United States was taken aback by this, and it led to an increase in the number of losses of US aircraft in air-to-air combat. The United States had issues with their doctrine, training, and technology. In response, while the United States Air Force came to the conclusion that improved missiles and technology were the answer to the nation's concerns, the Navy arrived at a different verdict. In 1968, Captain Frank Ault was given the responsibility of writing a report on the failures and finding their solutions. After conducting research, Ault's team delivered their results, and among various recommendations to both technological and organizational protocols was the proposition of the establishment of the USN Fighter Weapons School. This was not going to be some ordinary school, however. It was going to be a place where students could discuss their experiences and build new strategies and policies for the future. The instructors were required to have a great deal of relevant expertise, and before delivering any lesson to the students, an instructor had to be approved by a panel consisting of other lecturers who would probe the new presenters with a barrage of challenging questions. Students were to be selected from experienced crew members already serving on operational units, and the expertise and practical experience gained by the students would be put back into the curriculum. Even before Ault made his final report in 1968, preparations had already begun for the building of the school at Naval Air Station Miramar. Lieutenant Commander Dan Peterson was given a small staff, but very little else. Steve Smith, whom Peterson had chosen, found a dilapidated trailer that appeared abandoned and then had it moved into a place next to a hangar. The team had to use their off time to scavenge for furniture and repaint the trailer, which was a far cry from the glitz and glitter that subsequently became associated with Top Gun. In March of 1969, the institution welcomed its first class of students, and lessons were taught both in the classroom and out in the field. The F-4 Phantom was the primary focus of the school when it first opened, but it quickly expanded to accommodate crews for the F-8 Cruiser, and later the more modern F-14 Tomcat and F-18 Hornet. As a means of simulating the MiG-17s used by the North Vietnamese, the instructors flew a variety of light and smaller aggressor aircraft. The A-4 Skyhawk was the preferred type, but other aircraft including A-6 Intruders, A-7 Corsairs, USAF F-106 Delta Darts, and even a few Soviet Union-made craft were utilized to provide as diverse an experience as possible. Aircrews were responsible for studying both their own and the enemy's tactics and equipment. Students practiced intercepting other fighters in a variety of different settings and fighting styles. In addition to this, skills in gunnery and dogfighting were taught. In Vietnam, the benefits of the reforms didn't become apparent right away. However, when the US's bombing campaign against the opposing Vietnamese forces resumed in early 1972, after a lengthy 4-year hiatus, the impact of the Top Gun program and its expert pilots was immediately felt. Nearly instantly, the Navy's kill ratio jumped to a ridiculous 12-1. Most kills came from the graduates of the Top Gun program. Following the conclusion of the Vietnam War, Top Gun continued to be a successful training program. The end of the Cold War ushered in a period of transition during the 1990s, which was followed by a new age of uncertainty. The curriculum at the school was expanded to include air-to-ground tactics, and it was renamed the Strike Fighter Tactics Instructor Program to better represent the training role of its graduates. Today, it is a part of the Naval Aviation Warfighting Development Center and maintains its competitive edge by flying the very newest aircraft, the F-35. Now that we've done a deep dive into the history, formation, and successful track record of the Top Gun School, let's take a look at a few of the program's most famed pilots. First up, we have the renowned Lieutenant Royce Williams, whose life is loosely portrayed in the film Top Gun by Tom Cruise. During the Korean War, Williams was a highly regarded Navy pilot, commonly believed to be one of the most skilled pilots throughout the world. The nickname Maverick was bestowed upon him due to his brand of daring and unconventional tactics in flight. His most significant feat, however, was his famed solo dogfight against a staggering 7 Soviet Mikoyan-Gurevich MiG-15s during the Korean War. In a battle in which he was severely outnumbered, Williams was able to down 3 MiGs all by himself, with a 4th being severely damaged. His own plane was severely damaged in the scrimmage, and with a compromised aircraft that was barely able to maintain flight, he managed to escape back to safety. As he approached his destination, the Navy warship Oriskany, they actually fired at him, mistaking him for an enemy plane. Thankfully, they missed, and Williams was able to safely land the compromised plane. He continued his career for an additional 23 years and successfully completed over 100 additional missions during future conflicts, including the Top Gun pilots in the Vietnam War. Another name that brings pride to the institution is Nicholas or Nick Mongillo, the Vice President of CHQ Business Development. Mongillo, known as Mongo, enjoyed a lengthy Navy career which spanned nearly 28 years in tactical aviation, including more than 6,000 hours flown in military aircraft, 750 carrier-arrested landings, 5 deployments on aircraft carriers, and heavy involvement in both Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm in the early 1990s. Having spent 3 years as a Top Gun instructor, Mongo was no stranger to the realities of service. He had experienced flying a myriad of aircraft, including F-16Ns, A-4s, F-5s, and of course all versions of the FA-18. And he constantly strove to push his limits and challenge himself and his team. Over the course of his noted service record, Mongillo also became one of only 3 Navy pilots to successfully shoot down a MiG in combat, and for this he was awarded a Silver Star Medal, the United States Armed Forces' 3rd highest military decoration for valor in the midst of combat. Millions have watched and loved the Top Gun films, but few of them actually realize the heroic and fully true stories that influence the characters and scripts. Knowing this, the Top Gun films become all the more enjoyable and rewatchable. Thanks for watching. Be sure to let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos just like this one.